This is the Ramana Maharshi Self-Knowledge Satsang, a place for quiet self-reflection and self-inquiry. Know yourself and be always free and at peace. I'm Richard Clarke, hosting this satsang. I'm a seeker, like you, sharing what we love. I have been blessed with years of deep teaching. I bring this to you with this satsang. The background image today is an old photo of the entrance to Ramana Ashram. Notice the bullock carts, and though we can't read it, there's a sign at the entrance warning about the monkey menace. Ramana moved here after his mother's samadhi was built here in 1922. The ashram moved with Ramana. He lived here the rest of his life until he died in 1950. Here are some old photos. Most were taken from Realization.org's page, 1,500 photos of Ramana Maharshi. Some were from the Ramana Ashram archives. Here we go. This is the mother's samadhi when it was the only building there. That is Ramana in the foreground. This is Ramana walking on the grounds. It was hot there, and notice that he used the umbrella for shade. This is Ramana in the old hall, sitting where he sat for so many years, reading a book. Notice to the right, his bookshelf is there, and the books that he regularly referred to were all at easy reach. This is Ramana in the old hall with a devotee sitting in the foreground. And this is the old hall in the old days. You can see Arunachala behind it, and the entrance to it is now a wall into the new hall, and so you enter into it on the other side. This is Ramana with his beloved Lakshmi when Lakshmi was just a calf. Look at how happy Ramana seems. This is Ramana in a thatched building for the Ramana Jubilee. And while we were in India for big special occasions when there were going to be big crowds coming, then they still built these kind of thatched temporary buildings. This is the area where the office is now, and the bookstore would be to the right. This was when the building was first constructed. This is Ramana again on the grounds, again with his umbrella. This is the dining hall when it was first built, and this was the original configuration where you went in through what is now the kitchen. Ramana and some devotees on the grounds. Ramana again walking around under his umbrella. And the entrance to Ramana, that was the photo that I cropped to make the background today. Ramana coming out of the old building where the office was before the new office was built. This is Ramana in the place where he waited and gave darshan to many thousands of people while he was dying from cancer. You can see on his arm and shoulder the bandages they had around the affected area. Still, Ramana was there and making himself available to all the people who wanted a chance to have one last darshan with him. This is a very old picture of Arunachala, and that's what I had to show you today. Now we will go on to the Ramana reading for today, and today it is paragraph 39. Oop, and I had the wrong one. Who am I? Paragraph 39. Except that the wakeful state is long and the dream state is short, there is no difference between the two. All the activities of the dream state appear, for the time being, just as real as the activities of the wakeful state seem to be while awake. Only during the dream state, the mind assumes another form or a different bodily sheath. For thoughts on the one hand and name and form on the other occur simultaneously during both the wakeful and dream states. Now, when Ramana says that there is no difference between waking and dream, what does he mean? Both share the subject-object orientation. Both are experiences that happen to someone. Both happen entirely in consciousness. You know them only because of consciousness. Where does the reality come from in your dream? How about in the waking state? Both have the same object-subject relationship. Both seem real. They share the sense of reality and the sense of ego identity. This reality is your own self. It is always real. Its reality is projected onto the waking state and onto last night's dream. Both seem real because you are real. Now, on to our videos for the week. First is Swami Sarvapriyanada. Dreams are always false in themselves.
So when I say the dream is true, what do I mean? I mean, I got an indication in the dream which was fulfilled in the waking life. Correct? If it had not matched, then I would have said a dream is only a dream. So something in the dream indicated something in the waking life. That is possible. And that Vedanta does not deny. But that does not make the dream true. I'll tell you another story. Very interesting story. Swami Nirvanananda. He was a disciple of Swami Brahmananda and a close sevak of Swami Brahmananda. I have seen him when I was a little boy. Swami Brahmananda blessed him that in this very life you will be a Brahmagyani, enlightened. He became finally the vice president of the Ramakrishna order and used to stay in Belur Math in the room next to Swami Vivekananda's room. That room. That's where I saw him when I was a little kid. So now there's a story about him. He was a mystic, given to visions and experiences. There's a story about him. One of his sevaks, attendants, when he was a very senior monk, vice president of the order, one day in the morning, he woke up and he said to the attendant, "You know, last night, Swami Brahmananda came to me." His guru, Swami Brahmananda, came to me and asked me. Swami Brahmananda used to call him Sujji. His name was Sujja Maharaj, so Sujji. Sujji, you have not been to Japan, right? I said, "No, Swami, I have not been to Japan. Come with me to Japan." So he took me to Japan. Remember, it's all of this is happening in a dream, our so-called dream. He took me to Japan. And then we went to this big shop, huge shopping mall. And in those days, India did not have shopping malls. So, and he described it. And there, Brahmananda said, "Take anything you want." And then I said, I don't need anything. But well, you have to take something. Take something. And then I thought these pair of shoes. It was a pair of slippers, like the cozy slippers you wear in the house, you wear in your washroom or something, comfortable. I chose that. And so Swami Brahmananda got that for me. And we came back. And now I'm here. And the sevak, the attendant said, "Ah, Maharaj, now you're caught. Where are the pair of slippers?" It was just a dream. And he said, "No, it's not a dream. I actually got it. But where are the pair of slippers?" "You have said something which I can verify. There's no pair of Japanese slippers here." He smiled. Swami Nirvananda smiled and chuckled, He said, "There is." And this sevak said, "I won't believe it until I see it." Now, in the morning, a Swami who was coming from the United States, from one of our Vedanta societies, was visiting India, Belur Math. He had just arrived that night, late in the night. So he came to bow down to Swami Nirvanananda. He said, "Maharaj, I've come from such and such Vedanta society, I think from the Seattle Vedanta Society. I've come from there. And on the way, we stopped in Japan, in Tokyo. And I went to this, the devotees took me to this shopping mall and I thought I should get something for you. So I bought this pair of slippers for you. And here is a pair of slippers." And so Nirvananda looked at the attendant and, Now what do you say to that? She will say, the dream came true. So the dream is true. But the Vedantin will say, the slippers actually had to arrive. It's not that in the dream that you got the slippers. Otherwise there would be two pairs of slippers. The slippers have to arrive in your waking state. Then only you will say that the dream was true. So the dream was indicative of a reality that's happening in the waking state. So dreams are always, whether they indicate something in the waking state or not, dreams in themselves are always false. That's why I said Vedanta is spoiled sport. Sometimes dreams may indicate something that will happen in the waking state. Okay, that's only point number one. But the more important point is, whether it happens or does not happen, what is the thing that Vedanta is trying to say? Vedanta is not interested in the contents of your dream. Your therapist is interested in the contents of your dream. Will draw all sorts of conclusions about your dream. The therapist wants to know, what did you dream about? Vedanta is interested in the witness of the dream, the one who sees the dream. And Vedanta says the one who sees the dream is the one who is seeing the waking state, is the one who sees the darkness of deep sleep. That one unchanging consciousness Vedanta is interested in and says, Sa Atma. That is the Atma. That has to be realized. Do you follow what I'm saying? Not only that is the Atma, that Atma alone is everything in your waking state. It is everything in your dream state. And it is also the potential samsara, the potential jagat in your deep sleep.
And next we have Mooji, and Mooji talks about awaken from the waking state.
I will silence watch. How is everything watched?
There's awareness of it, is what I mean.
Yes, yes. Yes. Yeah. This awareness of it does not push it away. Like I say, any more than the flower pushes away its fragrance. It's there. You will come to see even this manifest world. Also, it is consciousness also. A clue is that in the dreaming state, in the state of dreaming, also a world is seen, relationships can be there. Senses are functioning in the dream also. Your body, your actual body is lying on a bed, you're not aware of it anymore. You're riding on some camel across the Sahara Desert. And this is real for you in that moment. You leave the waking state behind. Now you don't refer to waking state. Now you're in another state. And still the senses are there. When the rain falls, it feels wet. The sun is warm. You feel thirst in a dream. And if you feel hunger in a dream, you'll have to find dream food to satisfy your dream hunger. What you're not questioning is the dream. And everything is there. All the elements are there in your dream. There's distance you can travel. Maybe it's more subtle because perhaps you just find yourself flying through space or something. Or taking a bus. It can take any form. When you wake up, all this is taking place in your head. All these relationships, you can dream and meet beings who speak a language that you don't understand in your dream. You cannot say, look, I have the monopoly because it's my dream and I should know what you're talking about. No, if you want to know what they're talking about, you have to go to a dream language school in your dream to study the alphabet of these people and learn their language. And it will take you maybe 3 or 4 dream months to learn. And you'll have conversation. Everything is there. You don't have the advantage because it's your dream. And somehow then waking up happens, and then you're in this one. And then you forget that dream, like you did forget this state when you entered dream. Then you come in this space. Then you say, now I'm back to reality. But you could have been also having discussions about reality in your dream. It's a clue. All these things are in your head. The water is wet, the air is fresh. All these things can happen in your dream. So, what makes this one more real? There's also a waking up from this state also. There's an awakening even within this state also. To understand what this is, because even here we are dreaming what it means. The basic earth, there's one earth, but there are millions of worlds. In each body, a unique world is present. You may say we're living on the same earth. When you see this thing, we all see it's a fan or whatever like this you can see. But this is not the world that we live in. We live in a world of feelings, emotion, memory, thought, conditioning, projection, desire, attachment. All of these flavor our world. And in the same way that you go to sleep, or you may dream, but no one else you can share your dream with them. You cannot plug in like a USB key or something and share your dream with anyone. Even if you could, the interpretation would be different. It's a unique world. In the same way, in the waking state, your world is so unique. Nobody, even your twin, will not know the subtleties of your world. So some are telling you, even from this one you must wake up, and what it can mean. What could it possibly mean to wake up from this? What are they referring to? So the question, who is the dreamer? What is this dream? Even some people don't say it's dream. Very few will admit this could possibly be also dream. What does dream mean? For many people, dream means something fuzzy. It's not this. This is a full focus, three-dimensional dream. But it's not important for you to know this straight away if freedom is what you're searching for. We don't have to focus on this. It will come into focus by itself. What is important is that you understand that whatever occurs to you, whatever it is, this world and your take about the world is formed in your own consciousness, your own mind. You're the seer of everything. Seer just not just means seeing with your fleshly eyes, but seeing through understanding, through pure perception or colored perception. But mostly the perception is colored. We spice it up to make it a unique experience. We are sentimentalizing everything you see. So how can it be a common world? It's the most uncommon world for each one. So can that be our meeting place? You must go deeper than this. You have to go deeper. Whatever it is that appears for you, you are the seer of it. You are the one who sees it. Even the interpretation, even the sense of identity, even identifying with something, judgments, actions and reactions, all of these are phenomena that you are observing. Who are you? This is the question.
And finally, we have Nome in a dialogue. You are not an appearance in the waking state.
Following your words, the experience was over and over again, turning the mind back in on itself and inquiring, who am I? And it's almost like these mandalas of inquiry, going round and round, further inward. And what I notice starts to happen is that the waking state and the elements that you pointed out of the individual, the world, and God start to disappear just like last night's dream disappears from the waking state. So I was asking myself, what's actually happening when I negate the waking, or from the waking state? How is it that I can actually negate the dream state? And I think the inquiry reveals it, because I'm not in the dreaming state from the waking state, because it's entirely unreal. I am not in it at all. There's no I in the dream state, it's gone. And as I keep doing the inquiry as you speak, the same thing happens. with the waking state as my identity just gets extracted from it. And just keep coming back to who am I? And just
You are not an appearance in the waking state. Obviously, you're not an appearance in the dream state. You are not even the appearance, if we can call it such, in the deep dreamless sleep state. You're nothing that appears in the three states. Similarly, you are not the experiencer of the waking state, nor of the dream, nor of sleep. Your existence cannot be described as a state. The confusion regarding one's identity is the cause of all other kinds of illusion, such as a state, a mind, a world, experience within that, time, space, and the rest of it. If we understand that the object depends entirely upon the subject, the known upon the knower, and unswervingly inquire to know the knower, existence as it is, the self remains. Just as it is not in any state, it is not in any life, it is not born, it does not perish. Now, if you're not in the waking state and you're not a waking state experiencer, then everything that has been conceived in the waking state at any time is equally delusive. Beyond the three states, birthless and deathless, the self has been referred to as Turiya, the fourth, something other than the three states. It is of the nature of infinite consciousness. But so that we would not think of that as another kind of state, wise sages have also declared it to be beyond the fourth. That is, free of any such conception. Now, what would you think of a man who woke up from his dream so that the dream was over and says that the dream is not real, but would continue to believe in what he dreamed as if it were still existing? The things and ideas that populated his dream. The dream is over, he's not in there. But it would be absurd if he went on thinking that the things and thoughts of the dream still remained. Likewise is it with any vasanas retained by one who has heard the truth about his nature.
And now we will take a few minutes and meditate, breathe in and out. Notice the breath. And notice that you exist. You exist and you know you exist. Now inquire, investigate within yourself, within your actual experience right now. Your dreams seem real. Where does the feeling of reality come from in your dream? How about the waking state? Where does the sense of reality come from here? Who am I? All right, let's close with a chant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. If this satsang was of interest to you, I have more: a free book site, a YouTube site, and my blog. The URLs will be on screen next. These satsangs will continue in the coming weeks with this series based on the Ramana Maharshi book, Who Am I? Thank you for letting me share this teaching with you.